Whoa, what's up, y'all? We back. Real Spit Ready, y'all. I'm your host, K Mac Knoxville.
And it's your girl, Tammy Too Much.
Yeah. What's going on, man? It's been a minute.
We've been gone for a while.
It's been a minute. Happy to be back.
Yeah.
Sipping some of this Nicky's famous, Nicky's finest sangria banana punch. That's what we gonna call it.
I like it.
Sangria banana punch. Well, it's tasty.
Yeah.
It's definitely tasty.
So we got a few things we want to discuss tonight. You know what I mean? First, I want to start off with talking about May 31st, the Wisdom Court Summer Jam. I'll be performing live alongside with Body More, Big Steve. It's a lot of artists that's gonna be on the joint division. All the whole Wisdom Court family. So shout out to Billy Alive for that. You know that plug, of course. You know what I mean? Then the very next day, June 1st, I'm in this hit stage play, Sugar Hill. Written and directed by Miss Rosalind Gaines. And that's gonna be at Woodlawn High School. Tickets are $35 and it starts at 6 p.m. That's Saturday, June 1st, Woodlawn High School. You know what I mean? It's called Sugar Hill. I got a different role in this one. I ain't never really do this type of role. So, yeah, I'm real excited about it. Y'all gonna come through?
June 1st? I will be out of town.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I won't be.
So that's not accurate.
So you gonna?
She'll be out of the country.
Well, yes.
Oh,
I'll be out of the country.
How you going at?
I'll talk about it when I get back.
All right, cool.
We're gonna talk about it when I get back.
You not going down? Oh shit!
It's a girls' trip.
Oh, girls' trip.
That's always good.
Yes.
Yeah, man. And what you about to say? You about to say something?
Nope,
I want to
go
cut
ahead.
you off.
Go
We
ahead.
talked about this on the way here. Cut off. So also, you know what I'm saying? I just seen something that touched me, yo. I just want to bring this up before we talk about anything else, but something just touched me, man. I don't like to see nobody really going through the prison system and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But the boy NBA Youngboy, you know what I'm saying? Apparently, it was a shooting at the Rolling. What was that? What's it called, Diamond? I know you know what I'm talking about.
It was in Florida.
Huh?
You talking about what?
NBA Youngboy.
But it wasn't at the event.
No, I know it wasn't at the event. I'm just saying that's what
They were going to it.
Yeah. And what's it called again? Rolling what? I ain't want to say
Rolling
rolling
Loud.
papers. Rolling Loud. I knew it had something to do with weed though.
Is that what that means? Rolling loud?
Rolling Loud.
Oh.
Smoking noise.
Oh, okay, got you.
Anyway, you know, I just seen something that because I don't think it's cool that the judge is trying to they holding him now, they detained him now for I guess they didn't want him on social media.
Yeah, it was part.
It was part of his probation or something
Correct.
like that.
Correct.
That he couldn't be on social media
Correct.
on his phone.
Correct.
And
Couldn't be commenting and stuff.
yeah,
like
he
that.
couldn't say. I mean, he
For
didn't.
the exact reason why it got him jammed up because of what he was saying.
What on social media?
Correct.
Well, yeah, but my thing is, he been arrested a few times for something heavy, for things more heavier than him. You know, after they said that probation, he had to back up 10 years or something.
Mm-hmm.
He been arrested a few times. You know what I'm saying, for certain things that I think is more important than him being on social media.
Somebody got killed in this shooting. You're neglecting that. This is more important than the other ones because.
But they let him
somebody
go.
lost their life.
They let him go.
No, in Miami, somebody lost their life.
Right, exactly. A 43-year-old man
Which
lost
is
his life.
why they clamped down this time because he was talking trash back and forth with somebody.
After?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I ain't
That's why the judge hemmed him up.
Wow. But you know what I mean.
What bothers you about this?
I mean, cause I just seen something that he said that he wished it was him.
To that. Say that part.
Huh?
Say it. I want you to say it.
Yeah, he said that he wished it was him instead of the 43-year-old man. He wished they had really took him. You know what I'm saying? He wished they would have took him instead. He ready to end his life. I mean, he said things like that before, but you know what I'm saying? It just seemed, just to see that and hear that, you know what I'm saying? Just like, damn, you know what I mean? Because I don't wish jail or death on nobody. I don't care my closest, you know, my enemy. I don't wish that on nobody. So it was just, you know, I'm not really a big fan of him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really a big fan of him, but he just young dude with a lot of money out here wilding out. You know what I mean? I guess, and it's just that for him to say that, like that just touched me a little bit. So I want to send my prayers out to Shorty, man. You know what I mean? And also, the boy we've been talking about for the last couple shows, our last couple episodes, Kodak Black. He's detained right now also. And they looking at giving him a life sentence.
Well,
like he would never get up out. You know what I'm saying? And I said some things about him, and I still don't wish that on nobody. You know what I'm saying? But apparently he's supposed to have been in a drive-by shooting or something like that. Or he did a drive-by shooting at a rival rapper's house, and there was kids inside or something like that. So regardless of what, I just don't understand why he got to do everything. Like he got a team around.
They got his fingerprints
on the gun. Yeah. Right, they got the shell cases, got the fingerprints on. I don't know how they got the gun, but my thing is he always got dudes around him. Like why he always got to put himself, and why would those type of dudes, if they was his homeboys or had any type of, you know what I'm saying, if they any kind of sense, he's the bag. You protect the bag, bro. You feel me? You protect the dude that's feeding you. But we don't know who they are. We know them, you know, we know Kodak. So it's like, why nobody in that camp is telling yo to fall back if anything going down? Why nobody not telling him to fall back?
I'm going to tell you why.
But they might be telling him to fall back.
I think you're right too.
You know, when you have a certain amount of money and people around you, they're going to basically do what you say do. You know, which is why you have artists that's strung out on drugs and there are people telling them, you know, you need to stop, you can't do this, or what have you. And then when death comes upon them or anything related to that drug abuse, then people say, why nobody said nothing? They probably are. They probably are saying something. But you have people like that with money and feel that they have power and they just hard-headed, you know, and don't want to follow the laws.
I mean, I understand that, but that's just crazy, man.
I don't doubt that there's people, you know, around him saying you don't need to do this.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the other thing is that does hip-hop take some of the blame for this? And on our need for everybody to be real and be doing exactly what they rap about. So does he feel pressure from hip hop itself that he got to do this stuff, or else he ain't keeping it real?
No, I don't. I mean, they always try to blame it on hip hop. I don't.
I mean, he's a hip hop artist.
Yeah.
That's his occupation. That's probably all he knows. And he's participating in a drive-by shooting. What other reason would he have other than he wants to be rapping about the stuff he's actually doing?
I just think that they don't understand how powerful they are as far as, you know, the impact and the influence they got on their audience and, you know, their followers. I really don't think it's set in. They still live in the same life. They just still feel like they live in the same life. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably how he grew up. You know what I'm saying? That's probably how he grew up and things like that. And I've been around a lot of things too. But it's like when you that young with that much money, you feel me? That much money, it gives you that, you got that. I was like that, and I ain't had that much money. And I felt like that when I was like 21, like couldn't be stopped. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it could be that too. I don't know. But it's just like, damn, life. Like, they want to get that man life, yo. That ain't cool. That's like.
Kodak Black is one of those people that I feel simply grew up. He wasn't raised up. There's a difference.
Yeah.
When you have people in your life that are raising you and instilling morals and things in you, it's just some things that you just won't do as a person, regardless of your status. Regardless of how much money you have or the people around you, it's just some things that you just won't do. It's a lot of people that we know or see in the public eye in society that are just here. They just simply grew up, and they're basically an adult version of their childhood version.
I mean, because he started rhyming and stuff. What was he, like 13? Yeah, he was like 13 when he dropped his first joint, man. So it just saddens, yo. It saddened me that these are young black men that's going through this, man, and could. There's a lot of young kids that's looking up to these guys, you know what I'm saying? And it just hurt me that even, because I've been in the streets all my life too. So it's like, I feel bad for people when they get, I got a homeboy that got a, life sentence. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I feel bad when you in this position that you probably can change lives or, you can change your life. That's where you come from and you got that type of money. You know what I mean? There's no way you should be doing the stuff you used to do.
Right.
It's no way. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. So it just hurt when I hear that, do you get life? I feel for that. You know what I'm saying? I feel for that.
And
man.
not only that, in growing up as a person, he started rapping when he was 13. His content or his lifestyle shouldn't be the way that it was when he was 13 and 18. Or 21, it should be different at 21 than it was at 18. It should be different at 30 than it was at 25. It's all a process. And the older you get, the more you grow and the more you should mature. Even if you don't have certain role models in your life, the life experiences of it all should make you mature.
Yeah, but what is he, 25? How old is he now? Kodak, like 21, 22?
Yeah, I think like
21? You 21, you grew up a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
From 13, he grew up a little bit. He still got a lot to go. But that's why I mean, like, for him to be blessed in that way, you know what I'm saying? To be able to go out here and make music and tour and make good money to take care of his family and, you know what I'm saying, or do whatever, you know what I mean? So it's just like, damn, shorty, you throwing it away, you're going backwards. You know what I'm saying? You're going backwards when you in that position. It's like, that's just crazy. Then when I just seeing that they trying to get a boy life, like, damn, yo, you know what I mean? Even though he did have a lot of situations involving guns within the past, like, month, right? I think it was like what is it, Canada? What was he going to Canada?
I mean, he's one of them people that needs to realize and understand that the law is not going to keep playing with you.
But see,
they're not going to keep letting you slide because you Kodak Black.
But see,
they're not going to keep, going through that because you got money.
Yeah, but he probably could have had him for protection, which that goes back to the camp. That's what I mean by it goes back to the camp. The dudes around him, when them police came up on him for them tones, he wasn't supposed to get no charge. Somebody supposed to stepped up and took that, and he would have just took care of him. He got the bread.
But also,
you don't let the bag get messed with, because how you going to eat?
Right, but you also have to think the people in his camp aren't famous either.
Right.
So when certain situations arise, they're gonna look at the person that's most known.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know, they're gonna look at the person that's most known. Doesn't necessarily mean he did it,
Right.
but they're gonna say that's your camp. This is your business. You know, you're the one responsible.
Yeah.
So you can look at that both ways. For real.
Yeah, you can. You can. It's just that I couldn't believe when I seen Life. Like, whoa, that's whew, like all that work and all that touring, all that music, all that stuff is like gone, man. You can't do nothing behind bars, bro. You can't do nothing locked up for life. Like, it's over. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel for that, man. I feel for him on that one, man. So I didn't mean to start off the show all sad and shit. You know, it just caught me because these are young boys. Even though I'm not fans of their music, really, you know what I'm saying? These are young kids. I got sons their age, so it's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy to me.
Well,
It's just crazy to me.
as everybody knows, Real Spit Radio been off the air for a couple of weeks, and I wanted to touch bases on a few things. I wanted to let everybody know, I've missed the show for some time to take care of my grandmother, and she just recently passed. So I want to just reflect on her for 1 second. My grandmother was one of them type of jazzy ladies that always wore hats. So you'll probably be seeing me with a lot of hats on the show.
Yeah.
So that's my tribute to my grandmother when you see me in a hat. The other thing, speaking of police, that I wanted to touch base on, I don't know if people saw it. I'm sure they did. But just recently, my son was a victim of police brutality. It's been a battle. He's doing okay right now. Sometimes he have his moments, and being a young black man in society, these are things that we have to deal with. A lot of people has asked me, what did he do? What did he do? What did he do? And basically what he did was sit in the driveway of our home in his car. Now to not make it seem like it just happened exactly that way. My son went to the store driving his Infiniti G45. I think that's the brand. Very nice car. The store was basically around the corner. My son's tags were not proper on the vehicle. So when the police seen him, they didn't stop him. They didn't do anything to him. But they did notice that his tags were not proper on the vehicle. Within about a 15-minute time frame, my son came home. He parked the vehicle. So when he was sitting in the vehicle, the police rode by and decided that they wanted to do a traffic stop in my driveway, which is illegal. You cannot do a traffic stop on private property in someone's driveway. What they should have done was stopped him when they saw him, but that did not happen. My son suffered a concussion, a broken nose, and a sprained wrist from their actions. When I came outside, my son's face was bloodier than it was horrific, very horrific, to the point that there was a puddle of blood in my driveway from him bleeding. When I asked the officers, why were you at my home in my driveway, they had no explanations for me. All they could tell me was that he was an adult and that they didn't have to tell me anything. But when you're on someone's private property without probable cause because the vehicle was parked and not even on, you're supposed to tell people why you're at their home. So right now, I just want to thank the NAACP, the Internal Affairs Department, and all my neighbors for trying to help us get through this time. It's a fight that I'm going to continue to fight. I'm not going to just let it go because my son is an adult. He still belongs to me and he has rights, you know. So, you know, I just wanted to shed light on that because the video is on social media. And just to let everybody know the progress and what actually took place that day.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. It was wild. It was wild. And see, a lot of people haven't been through that situation. You know, like if you never been really in the streets, you probably never even, I ain't gonna say that. Because it don't matter. It don't matter if you're in the streets or not. It's the color of your skin to me. You feel me? As far as the police brutality. You know what I'm saying?
And I also want to add that my son he's not a drug dealer. You know, he's not the type of young man that hangs in the streets. He worked every day. He went to college. You know, he knows Arabic. You know, he has a diverse, friendly group, a diverse group of friends. You know, he's a very intelligent young man. You know, not only did he go to college, he's also a plumber and an auto mechanic. So this is not the type of person. Not saying that anybody deserves it, but he's not the type of person that definitely deserves that type of treatment, and especially living in the neighborhood for 31 years and knowing the police. You know, he talks to them, or at least he used to. You know, he's friendly in the neighborhood. Everybody knows him. So for this to happen, it was beyond my understanding, and I, as a mother, I was just in disbelief behind it. So, you know, my fight continues. Justice for Stacy is the hashtag. And right now, that's all I have to say about it. But I will keep everybody abreast.
Diamond gotta say something. You heard it.
No question. So what do you want to see come out of this fight?
I want them to definitely pay for his hospital bills. You know, and definitely pay because of his injuries, he had to miss 2 weeks of work. You know, I definitely want them to pay for the damage, the mental damage, and the physical damage that they did to my son.
And we want them to get fired. We want them to lose their job.
All right. So if I ask anything that can't be revealed, just say you can't reveal that or whatever. But so did they arrest him?
Yes.
Did they charge him with anything?
They charged him with illegal tent on his vehicle. And they charged him with assaulting 3 police officers.
I figured that they was going to try that one. So he has a court date pending.
Yes.
And y'all got to prepare for that.
Yes.
So you feel as though the officers, how many was it?
There were 20 to 30 officers on the property for a traffic stop.
20 to 30? It's not you say 20 to 30.
20 to 30 officers.
20 to 30.
She ain't lying.
Yes.
And this is Baltimore County.
Yes.
Well, that's tricky. Because it ain't a whole lot going on, so when they come really, really deep. So as far as involved in the assault, how many officers?
There were 4 officers.
Did all 4 officers hit your son?
There were 3 that actually attacked him inside his car.
Now, they're gonna probably say he was not obeying a command.
Right.
You still gonna get punched in your motherfucking face for that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying that's what they want to say, because he did disobey the command that was given, and they probably wanted him to get out the vehicle, so they were trying to force move him.
Let me just add. The vehicle was parked. He was standing outside of his vehicle initially. When the police pulled up, they told him to get back in the vehicle, which was the setup for their probable cause.
Sure.
And his door was open the whole time.
The car door?
The car door was open.
All right, so this is okay. So just so we can paint the picture, when they pulled up, he was just getting out of the vehicle.
He was
coming back from out.
Yeah,
the house.
He was coming from out the house. Yeah,
dropping off our stuff from the store.
So the car door was open, so he was either getting ready to get out or get in when they pulled up. So they say, "No, get back in."
Right.
And then when he got back in, they wanted to. He would have been behind the wheel.
He didn't get right back in. When they asked him to get back in, because he knows the officers, he's like, "What's wrong? Why do you want me to get back in the vehicle when I'm not in the vehicle?" He was like, "If you would like to talk to me, we can, have a conversation. You stand by your vehicle and I'll stand here on my property." So they took offense to him, I guess, knowing his right to be on his property and knowing his right to ask questions.
They don't like the questions. But let me say this. Do you think that they're going to try to point to the fact that, as we say in the hood, his tags was dirty?
Right.
They're going to point to that, and you're not supposed to have, the tags on the street, so they was in your yard or whatever.
That's right.
The car's supposed to be covered up.
And tents. You ain't supposed to have tents.
Okay, so his tent was too dark as well?
Right.
All right, so he was not driving the vehicle when all this happened.
Right.
The part that's confusing to me is, why didn't he just wait until he drove the vehicle off?
Exactly.
And then did that. Here's
I'm
the
glad
problem.
that they didn't.
We would have still been here, because he would have been upset.
Right.
They would have been upset. And worse off is it would have been away from you, and there's no telling how far
they would have gone.
Exactly. Like, say he had been on a back road or Liberty Road, Liberty Heights, whatever. It worked out better than him being on the property.
Exactly.
But in this situation, it sounds like everybody had something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, still, I just...
I'm not...
Is internal affairs involved?
Yes. I'm not one of those parents that give my children a pat on the back when they've done something that they should not have done.
Right.
So that's why I said, rightfully so, he was wrong for having those tags on the vehicle and going to the store in that vehicle and then, coming back home. He was wrong for that, But once he reached his home and his property, it's an unlawful traffic stop when you're on your property. They cannot do that.
That's why they asked him to get back in the car.
Think
about that.
You can't give somebody a driving ticket or a traffic stop when there's no traffic violation and the vehicle is no longer moving or anything like that.
I'm sure that you have this information. Don't say it out loud though, but you know the officers' names and all that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You know their ages? The person approaching, was he older or was he young?
They
was
were
he very young?
They were about my son's age, about
matter of fact,
probably 30.
I think with one of them.
I think that's part of the
one
problem.
that
They was
punched
too
him.
young.
The one that punched him. He went to school with him, and that's where he knew him from.
Oh wow!
And then also my son has a friend who is a Howard County police officer. So when this happened to him, he told him what they did was wrong. He told him it was excessive force and police brutality. So, it's like they're doing certain things to people and you don't even know who these people know.
Too far. I mean, I think that they could have handled it, if they had handled it correctly, They could have did this smoothly, did an arrest.
Right.
He'd have got a smack on the wrist. It would have been that would have been the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think because of the inexperience of the officer and catching the attitude with, I guess he didn't like the questions that your son asked. I'm assuming, but that's probably what happened, and then
right.
stuff escalated. Then it becomes a pissing contest,
mm-hmm.
and then you call him, you resisting. I'm just glad this could have ended
a lot worse,
really badly. A lot worse than it did. It
right.
did end bad, but I mean, it could have.
And then
worse.
Also, I wanted to add one of my son's homeboys who just got off of work and happened to be walking up when it took place. Because he was filming, he was brutally put on the ground, beaten and kicked.
He was filming them on Stacy.
They don't like to be filmed.
Yeah, well, they walked over to him, smacked his phone, and just beat him to the ground,
him and beat him
kicking
to
him
the
and
ground,
everything.
Are you serious?
And arrested him, and he had
for taping
for filming on his phone, and he had a fractured wrist as well.
Yeah,
they broke his hand.
Straight worked him.
That was a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to work to their detriment, but. So do you feel like they were targeting your son?
My son feels like they were targeting him. He definitely feels that they were targeting him. He doesn't feel as though he can be as friendly with those officers anymore as he used to be.
Well, that's probably a given.
I ain't never friendly.
And the thing of it is, he's explained to me, he said just 2 days prior, they were standing at the store in our area, and the police, came up and they were talking, having a simple conversation. And at this time, my son was on foot.
That's a lot of similar to what they said in the Freddie Gray situation,
right?
Because they frequent the area, they're familiar with, the residents, and the residents are familiar with the officers. Yeah. So.
That's the outcome I want from it, because my son had to be taken to 2 hospitals, after the incident. Right immediately when I got down to the station, it was the ambulance there. They took him to Sinai. My son didn't even remember being in Sinai. Then when he was meeting with the commissioner, he blacked out, and then they sent him to St. Agnes. So, I mean, he could have had, and he may have, major head trauma.
That's true.
Some sort of brain damage. He still has a lot of tingling and, achingness in his hands and stuff like that. And I told him, you got to watch for nosebleeds and dizziness and things like that when you have a broken nose and a concussion. Yeah. So, these are lifelong injuries that he could possibly have. Mm-hmm. And with him having to go to different doctors and neurologists and things like that, I don't feel that he or I should have to pay for those medical bills.
And they will be high.
Yeah. So these are the things that we're working towards to try to get them to pay for.
Have they been receptive to your complaints?
Absolutely. The Internal Affairs Office seemed to be diligently working on gaining information from everybody involved. They have spoken with some of my neighbors. They are retrieving the police cam videos and the videos from everybody that was filming outside. So
police cam videos are probably not going to come up.
Right.
Too fuzzy, too dark. Mm-hmm. We didn't
so,
have flash.
I'm happy with
what
the
about
approach.
What about the body cam?
They're supposed to be getting that information as well.
Probably.
Right.
They will say
they did explain to us that it's not going to be a quick turnaround, because they want to get as much information, and it's going to be it's going to take a little time, which I understand that, but I have some other people in my corner that is going to try to get it done diligently. Yeah. We are trying to get an attorney. However, the attorney fee is $5,000. Right. So I did start a GoFundMe page to try to raise money for that. However, it's growing very slowly, but as a family, we're working on that. Mm-hmm. So, shall we go to commercial break so we can come back? Reset.
Yeah, we started the show off. Yeah, we showed the show off a little sad.
You talked about it. I don't think it was sad.
And also
all that stuff, everything.
Also,
everything. It was real. Yeah, it just was real. We just had to start off real before we start clowning.
I do intend to bring my son on the show so that he can tell his side of the story as well. So we'll just follow that journey. I want everybody to follow that journey with me. Justice for Stacy.
Indeed.
All right, so we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Right back.
More Real Spit Radio on ReadyOnFire.com.
My man be in the building.
Now more than ever, it's important where and who you get your news from. Radio on Fire brings information and entertainment to urban America. Whether it's news, sports, entertainment, or relationships, Radio on Fire has the urban experience covered from all angles. Visit RadioOnFire.com, download the Radio on Fire app, and follow us on social media at Radio on Fire.
Hey, Lorraine.
Bring.
Get him.
Gang. On that BL banger. Yeah. Mama said don't trip, just let them pigeons go. The minute that you leave, they'll come back in and instant dough. No, you ain't perfect, boy, you got some shit, don't mix with soap. But your good outweighs your bullshit, that's the shit I know. Been getting grip with sinners, still I got a Christian code. Been sipping liquor with some niggas who can't get no job, who can't hit the road, stuck in the bench from blow, who wish their ancestors never had a trip on boats. Come Mr. Smoke, cause